Yep.
All right, welcome back to It's Time Picks. We've got UFC Fight Night 244 Royval versus Taira on tap. It is a 13 fight card. Starting off with Clayton Carpenter and Lucas Roca. Pretty decent fight to start the night. DFS implications in this fight. Joey, how you feeling about it?
I'm feeling pretty good about the fight. Carpenter is a prospect on the rise who I really like a lot. Roca just came off the Contender Series, and he's a young prospect. I thought he was older, but he's actually a younger prospect in this fight. But what I didn't like about the young prospect was he does tend to give up his back too much, which can lead to takedowns and potential submission attempts. And Carpenter is an aggressive wrestler who will shoot takedowns. And I think he's going to get one. And within under 2.5, I think he can get the finish.
I don't disagree with you. I think someone does get finished in this fight either way. I'm not entirely sold on Carpenter yet, but I mean, he's definitely the play. He seems to have the better overall game, but I don't know. Roka's an interesting prospect because we haven't really seen him against some high quality top tier competition. So this will be a good gauge to see where he's at. But I do have Carpenter. I do think he gets the job done, and he should do it within the first 2 rounds if it is a finish.
And I like his tag at 88.
Yeah. So that is the first fight. Both of us are on the favorite in Clayton Carpenter. Next up, we got Dan Argueta and Cody Haddon. And this is, man, I hate this fight because it seems like every fight that Argueta gets into, he is doing really well until he isn't. It's almost like he beats himself in all of these fights, and it's kind of obnoxious. And unfortunately for him, I think it's gonna be more of the same in this one. He's gonna, shoot takedowns and do what he can to, control for the first, minute and a half, and then I think he just falls apart. I mean, it's kind of what we've come to see from him. He's had one win, two no contests, and two losses. I think is everything in the UFC that he's had. So it's really hard to trust him. I do think that he's a good fighter. I don't think he's terrible or anything like that. And if Argueta does win this fight, he's going to score like 120 plus. So I mean, you got to have both sides of this fight. But I do have Haddon winning.
So if you remember that Contender Series bet I gave you and told you that had him by submission was like plus 600. And everyone's like, oh no, he's going to win it with the hands. And what happened? He won by sub in round one. I think he's the more well-rounded. Argueta does have the more aggressive wrestling. And if it goes 3 rounds, close fight, I think he can score well. I'm going Haddon. I think he's going to keep it on the feet, win with combinations. And if it is no finish, I don't know if he scores tremendously well, but in a win, I think he scored decent.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But he is a slight favorite. I'm not sure he should be a 2-1 favorite that he's approaching. But I do agree. So both of us are on the favorite again in Cody Haddon. Next up, we've got Corey McKenna going against Julia Palastri. And Joey, how you feeling about this one?
I know this is what's her name? Pilastri's second fight, right? She fought Knudsen,
Yep.
and she couldn't stop the takedown, and Knudsen's primarily a kickboxer. McKenna, she's in a good camp with Uriah Faber, Dan Castillo, and she's still young. She's a well-rounded fighter in this fight, but her IQ freaking sucks at times. She strikes when she doesn't need to strike, and she wrestles when she doesn't need to wrestle. I still like the well-roundedness of McKenna, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to it on DFS because I don't know if she's gonna want to wrestle because she wrestles, she can score real well. If she tries to play a point fighting fight against Polstry, is I'm seeing a split decision of a short, and I don't see how she pays either side pays off, but it's more dog or pass for me.
How big of a dog is McKenna in this fight? 120. Okay, so I mean the odds are really close. I'm a wait. So who are you going with? Are you
I'm
going with
going with
McKenna?
McKenna.
It's funny. I was on McKenna to start the week, and I went and watched Palastri a little more, and she's actually probably my sneakiest play of this card. And the biggest reason for it is one, you talked about McKenna's IQ already, which is not the greatest. But aside from her getting pieced up by Knutson, she's not gonna get pieced up by McKenna. So it's gonna be. I honestly think that Pilastri can just take down at will, and then potentially even submit McKenna because I really don't think that McKenna's that high flying of a prospect or a fighter. So I like Pilastri a lot in this fight.
I don't blame you. I have a feeling this could be a fight when I get down to casinos, that this fight where I could switch, but for now I do like McKenna with the overall better team.
That's fair. I can't hate on that. Like I said, I was on McKenna at the beginning of the week, so we are split on this one. I'm going with the slight favorite in Pilastri. Joey's going with the dog and McKenna. Next up, we have a fight we don't really need to talk a whole lot about. We got Junior Tafa going against a short notice fight with Sean Sharaf. He is making his debut. As far as I know, he has not had any. Oh, I lost Joey on the Zoom. All right, sorry for that little bug there. Back to the fights. We got Junior Tafa and Sean Sharaf. Sharaf is coming in on short notice. He has no fights, well, really nothing impressive that that he comes out pops out to me. Um, they are heavyweights. Anything can happen with heavyweights. I don't really know what to expect. Tafa is probably going to be the most loaded fighter in all DFS contests due to him fighting a short notice opponent, and this being between heavyweights. This will probably end in the first round. It'll probably be a knockout. My pick is Tafa because there's just, I mean, you kind of have to, I guess.
Okay, so is Tafa worth this tag at all? Absolutely the F not. The man is 1-3 in the UFC. And one thing I will give this short notice guy in Sharaf, he's at a good gym. He trains, I believe, Extreme Couture. All I've seen is a bunch of knockouts, and he got hands. Tafa probably has the better hands. So how's one way he can get different? Look, if you're training at overall at Extreme Couture, you're getting your wrestling rounds in. You know,
Hopefully,
I
but all
sure
four
hope
of his
so.
fights, all of his wins are just knockouts in the first round.
Look, if he wants to make this stuff easy, he tries to get Tafa down because once Tafa gets down, he's a quitter. I'm still going Tafa, but I know Sharaf doesn't have a price tag yet. If it's outrageous, like below 7K,
I'm sure it will.
maybe I'll sprinkle one line. Depends if I play more than one, but I play one usually. But I'm going Tafa, but Tafa's going to be popular as hell. If you want to get different, if you think this dude can potentially take down Tafa, which I haven't seen none of his fights yet, it's more of a guess. But I'm going Tafa. But as you said, DFS wise, yeah, pick a side on this one. Tafa will probably be the most popular own because the guy's short notice.
Yeah, for sure. So both of us are going with the heavyweight favorite in Junior Tafa. Next up, we've got Nico Price going against Temba Garimbo. And are you once again on your boy Garimbo?
I am also, once again, on my boy, Grimbo. I don't know. I just like the guy's story. He came over to America to get a better life. Dwayne The Rock Johnson got him a house. Respect to the GOAT for The Rock. Um, but yeah, he's also getting better. He's at a good gym. I think he's still at MMA Masters, I believe, in Florida. If that's the case, I know he was getting training rounds in with Kobe Covington and a bunch of other good people in that gym. But I will say this, Nico is a tough dude. You don't know which side of Nico you're gonna get. You're either gonna get the Nico that got smoked against Robbie Lawler, or you're gonna get the Nico of last fight where he outclassed and beat the living dog shit out of Alex Morono. So if you're getting to Nico, I get it to a price tag, but we got to see what side of Garumbo we get. If we get the Garumbo that's gonna come out aggressive and try to knock out Price, yeah, at what 9.2K, he's gonna be worth it. Under 2.5 will be live, and I think he can definitely score over 100 and something points. But if he's more patient, more precise, maybe try to get takedowns and control. I know so far he's paid off his tag in every fight, but one of these fights he's not going to pay it off. If he's more patient with Nico and tries to tire out Nico going into the later rounds, he doesn't pay it off. But I'm still going Garambo, and I like him as a parlay piece.
Yeah, you might like him as a parlay piece, but I'm going the other way.
Ooh, you go with Nico.
I was on Garimbo, and after I did all my research and everything, I went back to Price. And the biggest reason was is Garimbo tends to light up fighters and guys that are shorter and smaller than him. Nico Price is not that. Nico is also probably stronger than him, so the wrestling will probably cancel out in this fight. Nico Price is way too tough. I honestly think that he might knock Garimbo out.
I hope not. Come on, dude. I don't want to see that.
I
Like,
know, but
don't get me wrong. I like Nico. I picked Nico in the past. I don't want to see that, dude. I like Rambo. But he's not a bad option if you think he does win at 7K. There's a chance he could find the chin. I don't know about a submission, and I don't know if he wins a decision, but I think his live ability at 7K is him winning by knockout. If you want to play that as a prop too, live as shit, you're gonna get crazy odds. Because I think that's the one way he does win.
for sure. So we are split on this one. I've got the dog in Nico Price. Joey's got the favorite in Temba Garimbo. Next up, we've got Jonathan Pierce and Pat Sabatini. And this, I want to say that this is going to be a good and really close fight. I'm just more afraid that Pierce is going to just maul him to death because that's kind of what he does to inferior opponents, which in this case, Sabatini is slightly under him. Um, Sabatini's a dangerous grappler, but I just don't think he's going to get a chance here. I think Pierce is just going to maul him.
I will say this. I believe Pierre's a Tennessee boy, isn't he? I
Uh,
believe he is. Or I know he's a country boy. That's all I know.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix.
And no,
Okay.
that's where he fights at. He was born in Tennessee.
Okay. So he's a country boy. I like to follow my Tennessee guys usually. This fight, I don't know. I've been torn on it, and I almost put Sabatini as my flag, which I will be going over my flag in a little bit, which is not Sabatini. Um, Depends on the fight. If honestly, I think if Pierce keeps it standing, he could probably knock him out. He probably doesn't even need to use wrestling. He can probably. I think the wrestling is equal personally, but the IQ at time of Pierce does worry me some because he can be winning the fight, striking. He can try to get close and go for a takedown. And that's when you see Sabatini dangerous, can be live for some because he's better. He's the better grappler. It's not even close. You know what? I'm worried about it because Sabatini got no chin. Pierce got no IQ when it comes to guarding submissions. So it's either a Pierce by knockout personally or Sabatini by submission, in my opinion. I'm actually gonna go Pierce. Like I'm
Good
It
man.
worries me some. I think this is a fight you definitely got to target. The 82, 8,000 fight is back. And oh God, like I
I
said,
mean, so especially because so the way that I see it is Jonathan Pierce got robbed in his last fight against Onama. He's going to be pissed.
yeah, like look, that's what happens when you don't showboat. If you didn't showboat, there's a chance you win that fight.
I don't know. I think it's just the judges don't like Pierce.
That's true.
But oh well. Both of us are on the favorite on Jonathan Pierce. Next up, we've got CJ Vergara going against the debuting Ramazan Temirov. And Joey, how you feeling about this one?
I'm gonna make this short and sweet. If Vergara was running from Lacerda, is he gonna be running from this dude? I think this dude's striking is nasty. Really is. Nasty as hell. But one thing I do give him credit, he can go decision. I believe he has like 6 decision wins, so that's also good to see. Vergara has never been knocked out yet. Is there a chance it could happen in this fight? It very much could, because I don't think he's the better striker. And it wouldn't shock me if Vergara is the one trying to go for takedowns in this fight. I'm on Tamirov. I think he needs a finish personally to pay it off. Have we seen Vergara finish yet? No. Is it live? Yes. Uh, I'm going Tamirov. I don't know if I'm getting to him yet because I don't have the full confidence if he's going to knock out Vergara. Because I think this fight could go over 1.5. I think both guys are going to pick their shots. Like I said, I think Vergara could even shoot a takedown or two. But yeah, I'm on the favorite of Tamirov.
Yeah, that's fair. And I've kind of got it written up the same exact way. You pretty much stole exactly what I had. Vergara is extremely tough. He's really good at avoiding getting knocked out, getting himself into big trouble. He's got a chin of steel, and yeah, Ramazan is he can be a scary dude when he wants to be. But the way that I wrote it up is it's only going to pay off in DFS if there's a finish in the first two
Mhm.
rounds. I just I don't see it happening. So this is going to be more of a fade fight for me. But I do have Ramazan winning this fight. So both of us are on the favorite in Ramazan Timarov. Next up, we've got Josh Fremd going against Abdul Razak Al Hassan. And for this one, it's really easy because Josh Fremd just fucking sucks. I wish he had a better fight IQ, but unfortunately he doesn't. If he was smart, he'd go into this fight, he'd immediately take Al Hassan down if he could. I don't see it happening. Al Hassan got robbed in his last fight. He's going to knock him out in this fight. Round one done.
So I will say this. I almost got crazy and it's like, you know what? How can Frem win this fight personally? Maybe outside strikes, survive the onslaught. I don't see it. I know he's a taller guy and but I think Al Hassan's gonna come out absolutely pissed because he got screwed against Brunage.
That was
He
bullshit.
quit. He quit. And the crazy thing is I think Brunage might still be in the UFC. I don't know. I haven't seen the roster update at all because I follow him on Twitter. But he he didn't get, no bad illegal shot. He got his shit rung up bad and he
Yep.
quit.
He decided to call it. He had a way out. He took it because he's a big fucking pussy.
I know I said that it would be funny if Brunage won somehow, but until once he got hit, I was like, oh yeah, here comes the quitter. Here comes the quitter. Um, I'm on Al Hassan. I think he's gonna come back with vengeance, and I'm gonna give a prediction about this one. You ready?
Hmm?
He's gonna win within the first 60 seconds.
I like it.
If I can find a bet on that, I'm gonna sprinkle a little sprinky sprink on it.
Yeah, I don't hate that. So both of us are on the favorite in Al Hassan, and we do expect him to get this done in the first round, making him an excellent play for DFS. Next up, we've got Daniel Rodriguez going against Alex Morono. Kind of hard to gauge where both of these guys are at right now. Joey, what you got for us?
So Morono, he's well-rounded, but does he show his well-roundedness? Not really. Because he is a nasty black belt. And guess what? You don't see it much. The last time I think we seen it was when Tim Means shot a takedown, and we saw how easily Morono snatched the neck and got a submission. Rodriguez, look, my dude got hands. He's a dirty boxer. He can definitely mix it up on the feet. I'm going Rodriguez, but this is a fight I'm probably staying away from. This is a fight that probably goes over 2.5, and I see this fight going decision.
Yep, nope, I'm in the same boat. However, I think Daniel Rodriguez eclipses 100 strikes again, though that doesn't really score well for DFS either way. So, and as far
FanDuel, it scores well
doesn't
because FanDuel is more striking and takedown defense, I think.
takedown defense, I know for sure. But either way, both of us are on Daniel Rodriguez. Next up, we've got Grant Dawson going against Rafa Garcia. And Garcia's been great. He's got a really good game. He showed off his improved striking last fight, 130 whatever strikes it was, and he looked phenomenal. Now he's running into Grant Dawson, who is leagues above him. This is going to be Grant Dawson, a typical Grant Dawson fight: takedown, control, repeat, takedown, control, repeat, and it's going to go to a decision. Dawson's going to score somewhere between 85 and 100 points, and that's going to be that.
Only thing I'll say about this, I am on Dawson. I'll make this straight right now. I'm on Dawson. I don't know, but I think the line seems kind of high though.
I don't.
Like, I know Garcia's been all right in the UFC. He's never been finished. Both are great grapplers, but I do love how Dawson trains at one of my favorite gyms, American Top Team in Florida. So he's definitely getting the better looks than Garcia. I saw an interview today that Dawson said, I'm not scared to stay striking in this fight. And I don't want to hear that personally. If I'm paying 9,500 for Grant Dawson just to go jab, 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 no combination, just jab, jab, jab the entire fight.
That will
I
not
think
score
he
well.
wins. I don't know if he finishes
I
Garcia. If
think
he gets
I
pull him
think he'll
out,
just do that though. I don't think he's actually going to sit there and
look, he
strike.
needs to work on his striking if he wants to get anything past the top 15. But because his grappling's already there, his grappling can only get him so far. But I'm on Dawson. I, I don't know if I'm getting. He probably more of a cash play. I would say you'd probably think GPP. If he dominates and actually mixes in his grappling, time control, ground and pound, yeah, he'll pay off 9,500. As you said, he might score in a mid 100s, like maybe like 105 to 110. But I'm probably fading this matchup to get different. I do like other prices below him, and I think Dawson wins.
That is fair. Both of us are on the favorite in Grant Dawson. Next up, we've got a planted fighter fight. We have Chidi Yokwani going against Jared the Night Train Gooden. And Joey, let's hear where your flag's at.
Do you hear something at all?
Nope.
I think I hear a choo choo coming in. Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo choo. My man, Jarrett, the Night Train Gooden, my Planet Flag. I made a poll this week saying if I should pick a dog or a favorite. And what I do is I don't even check odds until after I'm done my breakdown. I was thinking that Gooden would still be a dog. But I didn't expect this big of a dog person. 'Cause I like Gooden everywhere. I think he can survive the onslaught early. And guess what? He's the more well-rounded. He has better wrestling. He has better grappling. And guess what? He has faster hands. But you got to be careful because I will give credit when credit is due. And Kawani has power out of the ass. But he usually only holds that power for the first 5 minutes. So if he survives the first 5 minutes, I think this fight could definitely take over for Mr. Gooden. Mixing takedowns round two, round three, and I think he gets a finish inside the distance. And if anybody saw my video, I even contacted Gooden saying, "Hey, I'm gonna make you my planet flag." He said, "All right, what's good? I'm down for it." But my dumbass accidentally said Jarrett Gordon at first. And I told him, he started laughing his ass off. He's like, "Look, man, I saw you were in the moment. It happens. We all good." So my boy Jarrett Gooden knows. He saw the video. He likes it. I'm lit. My boy's ready. He's ready to let the hands fly. And guess what? Once he wins, that's 7 straight weeks. I picked my flag. 7. So, and 7,600, I absolutely love it.
I don't disagree. And this is one where we are in agreement, as I was on good in his last fight when it was an even bigger dog, and everybody thought I was dumb, and now they look dumb. So I like Gooden everywhere in this fight. I think he is better everywhere, but pretty much length is I've got him. I've got him in power, wrestling, grappling, whatever it is. I think Gooden is better everywhere. I think Chidi is kind of very low level. So I like Gooden a lot. He's going to be locked into my lineups. Excellent dog play.
And one thing I will say, two things. One, you convinced me to go on good in that last fight. And I was like, okay, I needed a dog anyway. Not only did I place him in DFS and I cashed that night, I played me and you both saying, how's he going to win this fight? You told me, I said knockout. You said submission. And
Nope.
I thought you were the biggest fool of shit. So I was like, you know what? Let me sprinkle a little sub prop. That sub prop won me over like $600 and I loved it. And I do thank you for that. Um, and I saw Njokuani fight live. I was excited for it against Reese McKee. I was not impressed.
Yep. Nope. I agree. I am right some of the time.
Yeah, you are. I'll give you credit for it.
So both of us are on the dog in Jared Good. Next up, we have Brad Tavares going against Junyoung Park. And I don't have a lot to say about this fight or just about this in general because I just can't stand how Tavares fights. He fights slow, patient, barely strikes, barely does anything. I think if Park wants to win this fight easily, he'll take this to the mat. I hope to God that he does, because this fight will either end early or it's just going to be complete domination by Park. Either way, I think Park wins. He's got more volume. He's got more power. He's better everywhere. Tavares is just annoying and needs to go away.
So what is Park's nickname once again?
The Iron Turtle.
I'm going to Turtle. I'm going my man Park.
Yeah.
Depending on how this fight goes, if he fights the way that you just said, 8,500, he's gonna absolutely cruise and smash that price. If he goes, point for point with Tavares, which there's a chance the fight could happen that way, but I think Park just hits a tad harder, is
Mm-hmm.
a
For
tad
sure.
faster. But I do give Tavares this. His takedown defense is, for the most part, pretty good. He has been taken down lately, but
I mean, he's not 36. I mean, all of his skills are
yeah.
deteriorating.
But I like Park. It's gonna determine how I feel when it comes to lineup wise. But I do like him as a if you do like a two leg, I don't mind him. If anything, I'll probably say if you want to do a prop, maybe KO decision for Park. I don't know if he submits Tavares. Tavares hasn't been submitted in ages, but I don't know about the DFS tag. I gotta see and move stuff around probably if I do try to get to him. But right now, I have this fight as a fade.
That's fair. Both of us are on the favorite in Junyoung Park, the Iron Turtle. Next up, we have our main event. We have the ever impressive Brandon Royval going against the even more impressive high flying rising prospect in Tatsuro Taira. And Joey, which side are you on for this fight?
I think it's easy enough. I'm going Tyra, and it's not even close. At first I was wondering like, should this line be a tad closer? Originally during the week I said yes, but I'm gonna give you a crazy stat. I know I'm old school as shit. I read it from this. Um, Brandon Royval's takedown defense, 40%.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to know how long he's been controlled for? Almost for 40 minutes
Yep.
controlled. He's had 5 attempts on subs on him, and two of his three losses are by finish. I think and from what I saw from interviews, Royval did not look happy with fighting this fight. I know these guys trained with each other a little bit way back. Like I said, Royval didn't sound the most excited for this fight. I think Royval is gonna get his ass handed to him. I think he's gonna have moments if he stays on the feet. Because like I said, I saw two different times where Taira was in trouble. He lost round one versus Perez because Perez was getting with leg kicks and he was hitting with combinations. And if Edgar Chairez had maybe another minute and some change, he had mount on Tyro. I don't see Roval getting mount though, but that was the only two every time I saw Tyro really in trouble. I think Tyro is gonna mix in the strikes. He's gonna get one takedown, and I think under 2.5, he's gonna end up submitting Brandon Royval and then being next for the title.
I don't disagree. And just kind of, to just wrap up everything that you said there, the last sentence in my article is speaking about Tyra. His ground game should be a challenge for Royval, and I would not be surprised to see him win by submission.
Hey, I'll be playing
I
that submission
capped,
route.
that's how I capped my episode, my article. So I'm also on Tyra. I think that he's better everywhere. I think on the feet this will be close, but I don't expect Tyra to stay there long. Royval is dangerous, so I mean we've seen him snatch the neck before, and he does a lot of crazy things. My daughter just joined the live, which is kind of funny. Hi, Branders. Um, so yeah, I fully expect Tyra to win this. I have no doubt about it. He's an incredible fighter. I really can't wait to see him fight for the belt. So both of us on Tyra. That wraps up this fight night card. Uh, as
I'm gonna give
far
you I'm gonna give you some spicy type shit. I don't even know what the sub props at for neither guy. But if they do win, I think it could be like this method. What if it's Tyra by sub
Mhm.
and Gooden by sub?
Probably pretty good props. We'll look at it after.
Yes.
So that wraps up this card. As far as next week's card, it's
I
decent-ish, ish.
don't even know who the hell it is.
It's a very ish card. The main event is fine. It's Hernandez, Fluffy, going against Michelle Pereira. Rob Font's fighting again. You got Charles Johnson, Brady Highstand, Darren Elkins is fighting again. Do, 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 do.
Oh, that's the high stand and Hadley, right?
Yeah. Oh, we get Matsumoto fighting on this card against Brad Katona. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
Like, watch him destroy another person. So I mean, it's an okay card. I mean, it is what it is. So, um, looking forward to that. Joe, you got anything else you want to add to this card?
No.
All right. Well, as always, we appreciate you watching, and we will catch you next week.